Hello, my lovies. I mean, my lovies, well, y'all still my lovies too, but hello, my stirrers. Today is a little morning motivation. I've done this video on my other channel, but I thought that I would bring that over here for you guys. If you need a little motivation, if you want to like love yourself, if you want to know that your past is your past and everything is okay. You made it this far in life and you want to continue. So I'm not going to really talk that much because it's me talking on the video. But this is part two. This is part two of my video. Forgive yourself for letting that vampire in. I got a part one. You have to go check out my Sugar Love channel for part one. This is part two. Let's hear it out. Little morning motivation. Let's go. What to think about. Enjoy the scenery. Guys, just let the music sit in. Feel the music. Get calm. Get at peace with yourself. Get at peace. Everything's gonna be. Hello, okay. Miss E. How you doing, love? Get at peace. Relax. Just relax. I just don't want to work. Oh, okay. It's taking its time. It's still my birthday. But this is, I let the vampire in. How do you get over that? What are some of the things that you should do? And what some of the things you should have done first? This is crazy. Hey, underrated darkness. How are you, my brother? See, a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen in our lives. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry to hear that, underrated darkness. I'm so sorry to hear that. Peace and blessings to you and your family. Hey, Eating Grapes. How you doing, love? But today is going to be all about forgiveness. Forgiveness. Forgive. They always say to you that they always come to you and they say, forget and forgive. They always say to you to forgive somebody because it's not for them, it's for you. But why is it that you forgive the person before you forgive yourself? Because, see, once you truly forgive yourself, you don't need their, you don't really need their sorry. Because you're done and over with. It's done. You'll learn to move on with your life because it's not on your mind no more. Whatever they have done to you, if you switch it around and say, forgiving myself is for me, not for them. You know, some of us in our lives had things that happened to us that was out of our control, right? Things do sit back. Think about all the things that was out of your control. You have to forgive yourself when you did not have that voice to speak out. You got to forgive yourself for wanting to tell somebody that you have been used or abused or bullied or anything that could have happened to you that was out of control. You got to forgive yourself. It was out of your control. You cannot wait for the next person to give you clarity or give you what you are looking for. Sometimes you might get it, sometimes you might not. Forgive yourself. Say, I'm sorry. I get it. I'm sorry. I didn't have a voice when somebody was touching on me. I didn't know who to trust. I didn't know who to tell what happened to. I forgive myself for sitting up at night a lot of times, knowing that I was being abused but had no voice. I forgive myself because these are things that happen to me that I cannot get past these things because you're so busy worrying about the person who have done you dirty. But you have to forgive yourself. Speak to that child that's in you because the person is still, you are you. Regardless of how old you are, all them experiences are still yours. Every experience you went through in your life, it's still yours. It doesn't go away. So being that it's still yours and you forgot, but when you older, you think about that, but you never had a talk with that side, that age in your mind or in your body. Have you ever had a talk about it without saying, hey, blah, 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 blah was done? You know, whatever. You need to say, you know what? I was young, I was abused, but I forgive myself. Now, we're going to get to the things that we control. But we got to get, first, we have to start with the things that we could not have control. You got to forgive yourself. If you were hungry and mommy or daddy didn't have no food and you had to go take something from the store just to eat, forgive yourself. You were hungry. You were young. You didn't know what to do. Forgive yourself. Anything that have happened to you that was out of your control, Forgive yourself. That person may not ever give it to you. Then, after you finish forgiving yourself, love yourself. Love your flaws and all. Start to smile when you wake up. Start to see the sun when you wake up. And it's going to be constant days that you're going to have bad days. You're going to have stressful days. But you still got to say, you know what? It's done. It happened. I feel bad. I don't want to feel bad anymore. I do not want to be depressed anymore for these situations. A lot of times that's what hold people back. It's not the act that was done to them, whichever act was done to you. It could have been beatings, whoopings. It could have been, hey, standing on the wall. Kids was thrown in the closet for real. And then you hold on. You hold on to that. Because it happened. Now, how you move on is to say, I had no control over that. I forgive. I forgive myself. I'll pat myself on the back. So you got to say, I love me. I love me. I love me. I love me. I forgive me. I forgive me. And then as you got older, then all the purple people that have wronged you, and you holding that so deep in your heart. Once you people like to say, let it go. I don't like when people say, let it go. You can't let it go. It's part of you. You cannot let go of something that is part of you. But you can give yourself a hug. You can go back to that child and say, hey, you turned out okay. Or we didn't turn out okay because I had so much hatred in my heart for what was done to me. And I could not have done nothing about it. But me saying I forgive myself for all the things that I thought in my head while things were happening to me, but I did not have a place to release it, release it, release it, release it to the universe, release it. Let it go that way. Not let it go, but release it and fill it with I forgive. Remember, things happen in your life that has nothing to do with you. Now, we got to get to the things that you have control over. Let's get to the things that you have control over. Anything that you participated in, that's on you. Whether it's a failed relationship, whether you got beat up. No, it may not be your fault, but at some point in time, you knew better. Remember, the vampire cannot come through your door unless you invite him in. Your door means your life. So a lot of people can't get over, oh, my ex-boyfriend did this to me, or I'm the black sheep and this was done. I mean, people will tell you a lot of things that was done to them. But That was the vampire couldn't got through that door unless you allowed it in. And again, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for saying, I did not know the red flags before I got with this man. I forgive myself for knowing that I kept going back and forth to abusive relationship when I knew better. But I forgive myself. Do not let somebody sit up there and take your choices and make you feel like you made all the wrong choices and you could have changed this and you had a choice. Yeah, we know that. But nobody leaves this earth. Nobody will leave this earth. I don't care how old you are, even as a toddler. There's nobody going to leave this earth without making a bad decision. Toddlers fall, they make decisions too. But nobody will leave this earth without making bad decisions. So before you beat yourself in the head for all the bad decisions you made, or maybe the things that has been said about you because of your decisions, clear that out of your mind and say, I forgive myself. You got to tell the younger you, I love myself. And then you got to tell the older you, because remember, the older you, the you now, the you that you are now, is going to be an older you. So what you do now is in preparations for the older you. Every day you are preparing yourself for the older you. How do you want the older you to feel? How do you want the older you to feel? Hey, living your best life. You understand? You everything you do is in preparation for the older you. People think that whatever they do in the now is for the now, which is not true. All of it, everything that you're doing now is in preparation for the older you. But you got to go back in time and take care of the younger you. You have to go back and take care of the younger you. Like I said, you may have to go back and look at a lot of things that was not in your control. And you got to forgive yourself. You got to have to talk with the older you, the younger you. Stop putting everybody else in your healing. You have to be the first person to start to heal yourself. And if you cannot do that, you can then seek help and guidance. But none of that will work. None of you can speak upon it and everything, but none of that works until you say to yourself, I'm sorry. Now, as far as again, everything else in your life that you participated in, you let that vampire in. The vampire cannot come into your life unless you let it in. So, are you going to stay miserable? Or are you going to think of all the things you let slide? Forget about whatever the other person done to you. Put your mind on all the things that you allowed. So when you start seeing that common denominator is you. If that man did you dirty, how did you get to that point? What did you let go by? What did you let happen that you should have stopped? You didn't have boundaries. So now you can say, I forgive myself for not having boundaries. I forgive myself for letting people cross my boundaries. Because it's okay. We all been there. But if you want to truly heal yourself, you got to see all the parts that you played in your life. Because this is your life and this is your story. This is the book that you are writing. You're writing your own book. So you have to say, I have boundaries, or I thought I had boundaries. I said I don't like this. I said I don't like that. And when the person did it, I let it slide. I am sorry that I was not a woman to my word.
Okay, today is June.
Sorry that I didn't say something and mean something. Say what I mean and mean what I say. I'm sorry that I never felt love before. So I've been around people that brought me down just because I wanted to feel what just a little bit of love is like. But I knew that wasn't love. But I tried to make myself think it was love in my head because this person took interest in me. And I am sorry that I didn't realize that the person that I took interest in and who was interested in me, I didn't thoroughly check who that person was. I didn't take the time to find out who that person really was. I did not see the red flags. After that first hit, I should have left. I should not have snuck out that house and was with that man. It go both ways, man and woman. Now I got this baby. This video is about you having a talk with yourself, having a chat with yourself. You know? So you have to have these talks. I'm sorry I didn't get out of that relationship when I knew I should have. I am sorry that I didn't know how to say the word no to people. People always coming to me for everything. And I'm such a giver. But do I get it back in return just a little bit? No, I don't. But I still continue to give. And then when I need people, there's no one there. I forgive myself. And I remember, once you forgive yourself, don't do it again. Once you truly forgive yourself, do not do it again. I forgive myself for being a pushover. I forgive myself for having people giving, and don't get nothing in return. Remember, these are the things that you are responsible for. The person that's taking advantage of you is only taking advantage of you because you let the vampire in. The vampire cannot come through your door. Remember, your door means your life. unless you let him in. He cannot. And this doesn't mean your significant other. I'm talking about people in your life entirely. Anybody that's involved in your life. If you are not being served by the people that is in your life, forgive yourself. And then the next thing you do is let it loose. Let it go. Write these things after you forgive yourself. Write down everything you need to forgive yourself about. Write it down. And then as you forgive yourself, put a check mark there. If it's a neighbor, that neighbor only wants you when she wants something, put that neighbor name there. Check that off. Any of your exes will have broken your heart. Remember, you played a part in it. You played a big part in it. So we hurt ourselves because of our negligence of not wanting to find out information, not waiting for the mask to fall off of people so you could see their true colors. Forgive yourself, because it's okay. We all go through it. We all go through it. We all go through it. Divorces, breakups, friends hurting you, kids are disrespectful. You gotta forgive yourself. You gotta forgive yourself, including raising your kids. Because you may have thought you did the best that you can, but in your mind is, I should have done this, I should have done that. That is okay too. Forgive yourself. I should have been more stricter with my kids. But being that I was beat so bad, I didn't want to beat my kids. Or, I should have said no. So now these kids now are disrespectful. But what role did I play in that? Did I make that child have respect for me since little? Or did I just let things slide that I should not have let slide? Is there other things I could have done to help me and my child and my children? These are the talks you got to have to yourself. But there's no need to talk to yourself if you're not going to forgive yourself. Don't have these things just going on and on and on, round and round and round in your mind. You got to just say, I forgive myself. I did not know no better. I did not know no better. I didn't know how to be a good friend. I forgive myself. I didn't know how to be a good lover because I knew that I had a lot of stuff in my bag. And I took that to my relationships. I forgive myself that I did not know how to pack light. I forgive myself that I overindulge in eating because I am stressed out or depressed, and fatty foods make me feel better. And now I'm obese. You got to be your own friend first. But that's true. You could be a good friend all you want. That doesn't mean you're going to get a good friend back. But this video is more about the self. You got to become friends with yourself. You got to start learning how to laugh at your own jokes yourself. You got to learn how to start taking you out by yourself to learn yourself. How do you learn yourself? And you're surrounded by so many people and so many things. You got to learn yourself. Find you a space where a little happy space. Find yourself a happy space where you can sit back and take yourself on a trip. And you can say, oh man, I did that. I did this. And I'll never do this again. I'll never do this. I'm trying to tell you. Whoever has done you wrong, believe me, B, when I tell you, once you start to forgive yourself, not love yourself, but to forgive yourself, you will not even need their validation anymore. You will not need it because you wouldn't care. You might just see that person and go, hello, hey, how you doing? That person might be really shocked that you is not carrying that weight anymore. But some people, their idea is to destroy you. Their motive is to destroy you. Or some didn't want to destroy you. You just got destroyed. But it happens. It happens. So it's okay. It's okay. We are all human. But everybody wants an apology. Everybody's looking for something that's in them. Like everybody, oh, I need some sage. The sage is in you. People say, I want to clear these negative energies out of my house. How did the negative energies get in your house? Unless you remember, the vampire cannot come in your house or in your space unless you let them in. So you're going to be like, oh, I need sage. I need this thing. Oh, hold up. How did this negative energy get in your house? How? Oh, I need crystals. The crystals are inside of you. You got some people who love themselves and they go through life, baby. After they don't forgive themselves or stuff that happened to them, they move on with their life happy. But if you are looking for something on the outside to make you feel better in the inside, I'm telling you, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You can burn whatever you want to burn. You can wear whatever crystal you want to wear. But guess what? None of that helps you unless you go back into your younger self and forgive your younger self just for being young, just for not speaking out. You believe me, if sage worked, and it took the negative energy out of your house, then you should never ever have to buy another one now, would you? But I guarantee if you keep people out your house, you let that negative energy in. And the house also consists of yourself. You want to be friends with that person. So now you got to buy all these. Yeah, it's okay to have all these stones and crystals and rings. Yeah, that's okay. But that's not going to help your inner. It's not going to help your inner at all. How many people bought the rose quartz, and how many of them are in love? How many of them found their true love? But they'll tell you, this is for this is for money. People, okay, this is going to bring you money. Did you get your money? Did you get the love of your life? Did you get that job or promotion? See, that's what's making the community We cannot grow within ourselves, and that's what's tarnishing our community. Because they introduce these things to you. And then a lot of them think that, I mean, if you go to church, hey, go to church. But going to church doesn't, having gurus, going to church or master teachers, that don't help you neither. That doesn't help you. A church is a place, is where you go to praise. But that doesn't help you in your inner problems. That doesn't help you with the inner you. If you never had that conversation with yourself about these vampires that you let suck life out of you, yeah, you will go and amen, clap your hands, hallelujah. But when you walk out of there and at nighttime, it's that problem still going to be there. That's just like drinking alcohol or smoking or whatever you do. Yeah, it'll help it for a little bit of time. But after it wears off, guess what? You're still stuck with your same problems. You're still stuck. Then you go to outside help. You go to therapists, which I really think that if you need a therapist, go to a therapist. But make sure you're ready to go to a therapist. And choose a therapist wisely. But again, that's not going to work neither, because a therapist can only go by what you tell her. But you may have locked some things away. You may have locked some things away that you're not going to tell the therapist, but you know what you locked away. But people's going to continuously tell you, forgive them. Forgive them. No. I forgive myself. I am holding myself accountable for whatever part that I played, so I will never do it again. If I don't hold myself accountable, then I missed the lesson. I missed the lesson that God or the universe has put in front of me. I missed the lesson. I'm too busy crying about what the person have done. Doesn't matter if your husband, it could be friends, it could be cousins, whatever. You too busy hurt. You missed the lesson. What was the lesson? And then you got to forgive yourself. But you're never going to learn the lesson if your heart is on that person. Done me wrong. Oh, I loaned this person some money. I never got my money back. Well, baby, forgive yourself for that too. Because you could say, I should have known better. But I thought they was going to give it back. I was there when they needed me. So you know what? It's all right. I'll forgive myself. I got the lesson out of that. The lesson is I'll never do it again. I will never do it again. The next time anytime I'm around my friend, hey, Apostle, it's going to be, we have to be on the same level. We got to be on the same level. And I will have things to offer you. You will have things to offer me. You know? And you also have to forgive yourself for maybe thinking that you're not the smartest person. That's okay. Stop finding your ways. Stop finding ways to put yourself down. And stop whatever, like in your younger days, stop worrying about people, what you have done and what people have to say about you. Just like these days and times, they got some ratchet videos. Social media made it really terrible. But you know what? When they ready to get to the point in their life that they're too old and they see all the things that they have done, hey, Asset, you got to say again, I am sorry. I put myself out there. I am sorry I let them men use me. I am sorry that I was on this pole trying to get this money because I thought in my head it was quick money. I wanted quick money. And being that I never felt love, I'm getting quick money and men that's giving me attention. But I didn't realize it was that I could have stayed in school, took a trade, and know that within time I could, but it's okay. It's okay. See, a lot of things people do is because they don't forgive themselves and they haven't talking to their younger selves. That's why you see a lot of these young women running to these cults. They got this thing where, they're all looking for gurus and people how could somebody guide you somewhere? They could tell you information, but that's their information. You need to go find out your own information in life and how you see stuff. Stop listening to these people who talk a good game and be like, you right. Yeah, somebody could be right, but what's going to make it wrong is if you start to see that person's value is more than your value because you don't know how valuable you are. So now you're going to fall prey or probably get scammed or something because you put more value in a person who is more articulate than you. But it's okay. I'll learn my lesson. I'm sorry. Maybe I need to read me some more books. Maybe I need to start being around people who's going to speak better words so I can pick up speaking better words or better math. But we all see where society is. That's why you can't judge them because it's going to be a time where they're going to judge themselves. That's like somebody talk about the people with the bonnet. But nobody never asked themselves, why did that person come out with a bonnet on their head? Why? People got so much to say. Sometimes people suffer from depression, anxiety. Maybe they got alopecia. But it's a reason why their hair is not done and a bonnet is over their hair. It's a reason. Have anybody ever said to somebody that have a bonnet on, how you feeling today? How you feeling? Are you all right? Are you okay? Just something simple. But no, we want to bash each other because we think that people is supposed to, their lives is the way we need for their lives to be the way we want it to be when we are not perfect neither. If you see somebody with a scarf on their head or a bonnet or sweatpants who just doesn't feel good, maybe they have given up on life. Maybe they need to, maybe after they finish apologizing to themselves for messing with these vampires and letting these vampires in their life and identifying the role that they played to let these vampires in their lives. And then talking to the younger self of them, then maybe Once they can do that, maybe that bonnet, they're going to throw that bonnet away. They're going to throw them sweatpants away. They may end up in the gym. They may want to start to fix themselves up. But what's the first thing we do when we see something that we think that we're better than? The first thing we do is bash people. But none of us are walking in their shoes. So if you see somebody like that, maybe tell them to say to themselves, go forgive yourself. Whatever's bothering you in your life, give yourself a hug. Go forgive yourself. You got so many videos of people ratchet this, ratchet that, ratchet this, but nobody who sits there and asks them why. And then you think you better than somebody else. When you got skeletons in your closet too. Everybody got skeletons. Every single body has skeletons. But being that your skeletons is buried so deep because you have changed your life and you have done better, that you forgot those skeletons is in your closet. Some people, because of the way they talk, or maybe they got thick accents, maybe, they talk the way their parents talked or whatever. What's the first thing we do? We bash them. Why would I want to forgive myself? Why would I want to love myself if everybody's bashing me? I'm here to tell you, ignore the bashing. Ignore it. Ignore it. Doesn't make you nor break you. Only thing that's going to make you and break you is you. If they didn't make you, they cannot break you.
I think we're unique because now, as you can see, we are in a studio atmosphere. We're not in a remote atmosphere.
To live. And whatever you're doing now, you're really doing it for the older you. The older you. So what do you want the older you life to look like? Because if you don't fix yourself now and apologize, and you choose to continue to overeat, you still choose to be gullible, you still choose to have men get over on you, you choose to let your kids get over on you, what does that look like on the older you? That means now you're going to have either heart problems, high blood pressure, overweight, depression. All of these people you see, you might have strokes, a heart attack. A lot of these things, this is what you're doing to your older self. You're not living for the now. You're living for your older self. Some people that have figured it out, they are 60, 70, and 80 years old. They got it. They fixed themselves so where they can still walk, they can still talk, they can still move around. A lot of them is healthy because they took care of them problems when they was at a middle age. Once you get a certain age, you can't fix yourself now. You cannot. Once you get a certain age, it's hard to lose the weight. Once you get high blood pressure or diabetes, you now are stuck with these problems. Your older self didn't do anything, but your older self is stuck with all the problems you had from when you were younger that you never took care of. So when are you going to take care of yourself? When are you going to decide this is enough? I don't want to abuse my body. And if you stop doing a lot of things, forgive yourself. If you continuing to do these things, you continue to let the vampire in. When you get older and you get tired of it, then you can forgive yourself. But as always, there's no expiration date on forgiving yourself. You know, hey, I fell for the wrong boy. I fell for the wrong girl. I spent my income tax money on this guy or woman, or every time they want to see me, every time they want something, that's when they call me. But they don't call me just to say hello. It's a lot of things that people are hurt over. It's a lot of things that people is hurt over. Now you got to think of, what do you do? How do I put that shield around me? You start by undoing the bad behavior that you was doing to yourself. That's how you start to undo things. You got to undo being so nice to everybody. You got to undo it. You got to undo falling in love so fast. You got to undo thinking that the world is going to stop if you don't help this person. Because guess what? If somebody's asking you for something, they probably already asked 5 people and 5 people done told them no. They just happen to get to your, okay, I just got to your number. And now, if you don't give it to them, they're going to call the next person. A user is going to be a user. A user is going to use you and everything around them. So you're never the first contestant. That's why anybody, if you watch a lot of these shows, they all fall for things that they don't know it's them. It's in you. God put everything in you. That's why they say you are his precious jewelry. You are his most precious jewelry. So which means out of all the stones and all these other things, you are more precious than that. So why would you wear something or have something that's less special than you? Remember, you are more special. So why would you get something that's less special than you? I'm not saying don't do crystals and do whatever you want to do. But just for you to know that God said you are more special than that. So how can something that's less special than you help you? I don't see too many stories about people saying, oh, this crystal brought me my true love. Oh, this sage took away all, I have no negativity in my house. Meaning you brought that negativity into your house. Remember, these things can't help you because you let the vampire in. Only thing that can help you is not repeating the behavior. Learn your behavior and not repeat your behavior. That's what we have to learn. Stop repeating bad behavior. So you have to tell yourself, I'm sorry, learn the lesson, and do not repeat the bad behavior. And you're going to be like, oh, it wasn't me, it was him. It wasn't just him by himself. You opened your door, didn't you? You opened your life up to him, didn't you? A lot of times you knew this go for he or she. You knew they was lying. And all you did is said to yourself in your mind, oh, I know he lying. Why say that to yourself? Say it to him and tell him to get to stepping. So forgive yourself that you didn't get out of these relationships because you knew what was going on. You knew. We all ain't far from dumb here. You knew exactly what you had, but you still kept it around and still kept feeding it. You still kept letting that vampire suck all your blood. That was you who did that. Because if you would have said no to him at any point in time, he would have go find somebody else to do it. Well, being that you say, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. Now you're sitting up there heartbroken, talking about, oh, he took me for all my money. No, you gave him your money. I don't like, I don't have it. Learn to say, I don't have it. Practice that word every day. I don't have it. I don't have it. I ain't got nothing for you. Practice that every day. When it comes down to these parasites, these narcissists, these not real people in our lives, keep saying to yourself every day, I can't help you. I don't have it. Oh, I'm so sorry that you're going through that. Remember, that's when you stop repeating the bad habit. But it's in you. Everything you need in life is in you. As below, as here. So everything that's up there, everything is in us. So anytime you're feeling bad, just say, I forgive myself and I won't repeat this. I won't repeat this behavior again. I know then you'll see how much stuff start to open up in your life. It'll start to open up. When you let it go, the universe is going to send you a whole new everything. But the good part about it is you're going to be better prepared. See, you know that saying, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So being that you've already been through what you've been through, that means you are better prepared. You are not going to do a lot of things. I'm not going to tell this person, oh, I got money, I got a good job. And you ain't got to let everybody know you're an independent woman. They could know that you work. But you ain't got to throw in their face, oh, I'm such an independent. That's bad behavior. That's bad behavior. He doesn't need to know all of that. He's not your husband. He's not your fiance, and he's not your husband. He don't need to know all of that. He doesn't need to know that, or she doesn't need to know that. But what you did was let them know that I ain't got to do nothing for her and him. I ain't got to do nothing. I ain't got to be the woman or man I should be, because she independent. That's none of nobody's business. If it's your fiance or your husband, then you could say, hey, I make this, I make that. But if you want to play that boyfriend-girlfriend role, you play that boyfriend-girlfriend role. Do not play the housewife and husband role without it being legit. Without it being legit. Without you having them papers. They don't know, nobody needs to know too much about you. That's another way of protecting yourself. Protecting yourself. You're in fight or flight. And I see too many people is hurting. Too many people is hurting. But if you have any questions, anything you want to say, leave it down at the bottom. Leave it down at the bottom. And do not forget to thumbs up this video, like, and subscribe. And we will have a part 3. We will have a part 3. But remember, love yourself. And remember, the vampire cannot get into your house unless you let him in. Be careful who you let in. So, don't forget, give yourself a hug. If you're feeling a certain type of way, sit back, relax, and tell yourself, you got this far. I got this far. I got this far. I got this far. And I got more. I got long ways to go. If God spare my life, I want to be old and happy. I want to be old and happy. You know, living your best life. If one day you would like to be a guest. Hello, my loves. Hey, Miss Real. Yeah, no welcome mats. Exactly. This is a video. These are the type of videos that I do on my other channel. You know, I just thought that I'll bring this video to this channel. Maybe, you know, it can help somebody. Like I said, this is part 2. I did a part 1. This is a part 2. You know, because we got a lot of hurting people out there. And I'm trying to get it to whereas they believe in themselves. They love themselves. They forgive themselves. Or, you know, just learning yourself. I mean, people have been through some things that they can't even talk about because they locked it. They can't even speak upon it. A lot of people's been abused beyond abused before the age of 5. Before the age of 5. Some kids before the age of 5 have been through more than what an adult have been through in their lives before the age of 5. Yeah, a lot of kids that went from house to house to house to house. Some kids, they so messed up, they living with great grandma. Not even with grandma, with great grandma. And great grandma should be living out the rest of her life happy, but now she got responsibility. But there's so many stories to be told. And there's so many stories that's kept inside. So even if you keep them stories inside, go back in time. Because like I said, everything you do now is for your older you. Take care the 50-year-old you. Take care of the 60-year-old you. Take care of the 70-year-old you and 80s and beyond. You have to take care of that person. That's your responsibility. Because you're not living, like I said, you are not living for now. Do not, all that YOLO, you only live once, to throw that out the window. But it's your responsibility to take care of the older you. Do whatever you can now while you can do it to prepare for your older you. So now you could be older and you, like I said, you can still walk, talk, take trips and do whatever. Don't F yourself up so much that the older you have to pay the price. Do not F yourself up so much that the older you have to pay the price. You know, people got, as we see, people got STDs, people got this, people got that. You think that, yeah, you can handle it now, but you just shorten the older you life. You just shorten the older you life. You did that to the older you. Everything you do is not for now, it's for the older you. Until you called home, until you are called home to them pearly gates or whatever you want to call it, transcending or whatever. But like I said, today is just a morning motivation. Yes, it's an early day. I will be back on. Hold on, Boss Mathis. Don't you hang up. And I will see you guys later. And if you want more videos like this, come to Sugar Love. See the name? SUGA space LOVE. That's my other channel. Come there. And that's where we have these type of talks at. But you can still watch the drama, but you got to heal yourself. Because all this drama that we watching, guess what? That's their life. Yeah, it looks good. You love to see the banging. You love all of this. But you got to take time to heal. And you got to take time to maybe heal somebody. Maybe you are healed already. And you can come on a show and heal somebody else. But we out of here. Peace.